All right, guys, welcome to Better Be Different. My name is Derwin Chung. I'm a real estate broker, a world traveler, and an avid poker player.
Hi, guys, and I'm John Chow, a lawyer and single father who enjoys leading an active lifestyle. Each episode, we bring you an inspiring or interesting person or message.
Some say it's good to be better, but it's better to be different.
Thanks for spending some time with us today. And now, let's dive right in. Derwin, hey.
Yo.
So, we're talking about Better Be Different, right? And for, our friends, our listeners to kind of learn more about us, first and foremost.
Sure.
So, you mentioned that you are a real estate broker.
Yes.
Tell me more about that.
10 years, well, 10 plus, almost 10, yeah. Somewhere around there. So I've been doing this for a long time. Selling real estate in San Francisco, right? One of the most expensive places to buy real estate, in the world. So it could be exciting. And it's been, ups and downs like any career I would think. But so far it's been treating me pretty well. I'm still doing it. I'm still actively selling real estate and representing my clients and, finding them the right property or selling their property for top dollars. And I go by Night Agent. That's my handle on Instagram if you guys want to find me. But I'm not going to talk too much about real estate here. I mean, certainly we can jump into it here and there, but I think want to talk about other stuff as well. But in a nutshell, yeah, that's what I do. That's my day job. Enjoy very much. It's given me a lot of opportunities to meet different people, all walks of life, just smart people too. I mean, a lot of times people that can afford a property are usually pretty successful, right? At least in San Francisco. So I've been, lucky enough to meet billionaires,
Nice.
travel the world and talk to just all these successful people, and it's just very inspiring. And can't complain. That's what I've been doing, the real estate stuff.
There's a lot to learn from people that are successful and have, been through life and seen different aspects of it, challenges.
That
they overcame it and all that.
Oh yeah. I mean, just so many things I can think of just kind of came from me working as a real estate agent. You know what I mean? I mean, we've partnered up in certain deals, right?
We have,
right,
definitely.
Which is great. That's the best part. I think we go out and play together,
right.
But we also, try to make money together, help people, everything. So real estate has been key. I think a lot of people invest in real estate because they know it's a way of building wealth, right? I think all the successful people out there, the ultra rich people, right? They have at least dabbled into real estate at one point in life,
right?
Or they have this fat portfolio or something like that. So yeah, so it's been pretty cool.
Pretty cool. I mean, I think that's why we're doing this, right? Big reason why. I think we've learned from, we have mentors, we have people that kind of have shared with us, life experiences.
Yeah.
And sometimes in life, you can't be too hard on yourself in terms of big regrets, small regrets. I mean, that's life. That's living life.
Yep.
So
can't be perfect.
Yeah. I mean, my day job, as that I'm a lawyer, right? And a lot of what I do is related to civil matters, related to real estate as well. And that's why, we've definitely worked together. We're on the same team.
Yep.
Done stuff together, and it's been fun. It's been interesting.
Right.
And it's kind of why we're doing this. Yeah.
You've been practicing for some time now too, yeah?
Yeah, around you as well. We've been doing it for a while. So, just it's cool to see how we have naturally progressed.
Yeah.
Personally, career-wise and all that. And here we are.
Right. I think as an attorney, I mean, you definitely have the personality to be an attorney. I think.
Why do you say that?
For the most part, you the gift of gab. I think you have that, right?
The gift of gab.
The gift of gab. You need to be able to express clearly, what you're thinking or what your clients want you to express for them, right? So
I try.
You know what I mean? That must be I mean, I think it really fits your personality. You know what I mean? I don't know if I ever
Well,
told you that.
well, I appreciate that. I mean, I
Yeah.
like to solve problems. I like to work with people, understand what they want ultimately.
Yeah.
And then oftentimes I tell my clients that, okay, let's figure out first and foremost what the ultimate goal is.
Right.
Then it's kind of like my job, it's my onus to kind of figure out how can we get there.
Right.
So we need to clearly define what we're trying to achieve,
Mhm.
and then kind of like reverse engineer and figure out, how best to reach those goals. And certainly, oftentimes in cases involves multiple parties, right? Whether
Right.
it's like the other side's attorney or just different parties, even whether or not they're represented,
Mm.
but have to be able to kind of be reasonable, to empathize, to be able to explain, articulate why we're at this point, why we are maybe stuck in this position.
Mhm.
Impasse is not fun for anyone, but
Right.
we're talking about how can we kind of maybe globally resolve certain matters. And I think that also comes from experiences in whether cases, again, with clients and with those that are more experienced in life, just to be able to understand the other side. Like,
Mhm.
I'll share more about my background later, but for example,
Yep.
I studied when I spent one semester in Japan studying,
Right.
and one of my favorite classes there was called to negotiate the East-West type of negotiating. How like different individuals, different parties have different perspectives in terms of what they value and how
Mhm.
best to kind of understand that and to internalize that and to apply that when it comes to negotiating. And
Mhm.
so I think that that applies whether individuals are different cultures, come from different cultures or not, different backgrounds, different experiences. That's what all makes us different. And that's
Mhm.
why I think so long as we can be more inclusive and to be more open to what others think and say, I think that we could learn a lot from each other.
Sure. Sure. I mean, you can bounce ideas off
Definitely.
each other. I mean, everyone has different opinions, and being able to be on both sides.
Right. Right. So, I
Mhm.
mean, do you think that as a world traveler,
Yeah.
that helps?
Well,
Tell
for
me
what
more
do you mean,
about you
like
being a world traveler,
world
by the way.
travel?
How many places have you been to?
28 countries.
28.
Yeah, 28 countries. I mean, it's been eye
Nice.
opening. You know what I mean? There's something about traveling. I love it. I mean,
Okay.
just like it's man, it's the stimulation. It's like getting off the plane. You're at a known place.
Uh
You've never
huh.
been there before. You've never seen that type of people before. You know what I mean? And then you just all this like sensations. You're just constantly stimulated.
Right.
Like whereas like if we're in San Francisco now and I'm a native, born and raised, you just kind of go through the motions. If you don't,
Yeah.
you see everything multiple times a day. So it doesn't give you that stimulation.
Mm-hmm.
It just keeps things interesting. And that's one of the reasons why I love traveling is because I see so many different new things. You know what I mean? That it's just stimulating. It just gets me like naturally high.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So that's one part I like a lot, and obviously meeting different people,
Mm-hmm.
um, and experiencing their culture, their food, their
Right.
music, how they live.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? That is just one of the best feelings I think one can have. Um, I used to think like material things would kind of give me that similar satisfaction.
Uh-huh.
It in honesty, I think it's not the same. I mean, materialism, yeah, it can like give you that satisfaction, that feeling like, oh, I have something cool, but it fades. That stuff fades. But the memories that I've been able to keep from going to different places, that's gonna
Okay.
stick with me for the rest of my life.
Right on.
So that's what I enjoy as a world traveler.
So you said 28 different countries.
20 different countries.
So like what else
Yeah.
is on your list of places to go that
Uh,
you haven't been
s-
to?
so many, I mean, there's so many small countries, like 200 plus countries in the world, right? So,
How about
well,
the top three that come to mind?
top three. Oh
Yeah.
boy. So I want to go to. I think I want to hit uh, Portugal. I haven't been there, of all places.
Okay.
I haven't been to Greece. I want to go there, and maybe Colombia.
Okay.
So,
Nice.
oh, one more if I can
Okay.
add is South Africa.
South Africa
South Africa, yeah.
specifically, right on.
I'm crazy about lions and tigers, and I don't have tigers there, but lions and hyenas, giraffes, all that stuff. I
Yeah.
love seeing that. I want to be on a safari.
Okay,
So
that's really cool. Yeah, I've haven't traveled, not as well versed in traveling as you have, but I've been to many countries, primarily in Asia.
yeah,
Yeah, because I studied, as I mentioned, in Japan,
right.
but I also spent some time studying Shanghai, China, and I think I have relatives in Asia. So
Yep.
when visiting them, it's easy to travel somewhere else that's, let's say, within a few hours flight away.
Right.
You know, so I've only been to Europe once, so I definitely want to spend more time over there in
Right.
due time.
Yeah.
Flew into London and flew out of Paris.
That's sweet.
Yeah, pretty convenient that way, right? You take the Eurostar.
I don't know. Is that it?
Yeah. I think it's like a 2 hour. Let's see. I think that was like 2 hour ride away.
Right.
So it's not too bad.
Gotta do it, man.
You got to do it.
What else want to talk about? I want to ask you about being a single father, right?
Yeah.
Tell me about that. I mean, I don't have any kids, so I think I kind of learn from that.
Yeah. Being a single father, being a parent is many people would probably agree it's challenging, right? But I find it to be rewarding. And I have three amazing kids. And I started being a father when I was pretty young. And so I've always wanted to be a father, right? And or be a parent, right? And so
Like you just knew you wanted to be a father early.
well,
early
yeah,
age.
I think a big part of it is because
Because I don't even know if I want to be a father. That's why, and so that's like trying to get insight off of you.
it started really
Yeah.
young because my dad basically left the family when I was three. And
3 years old.
yeah, when I was
Wow.
3 years old. And then so among the different jobs that my mom took on after that was included being a child care provider at the home, at our house. And so I would help out at a very young age. And I've always thought that kids are so amazing, and
Right.
when I see the spark in their eyes, and it's like there's a lot of responsibility that comes with being able to kind of mold and shape these young individuals, right? And
Right.
so, for example, one of my favorite movies is Spider-Man, right?
Spider-Man.
And one of the phrases that I always remember is, with great power comes great responsibility,
Yep.
right? And so the power to make such a huge impact on these children, that's a huge responsibility and something that I do not take lightly at all. And so I've always wanted to have my own kids so that I can kind of do that and impart what I've learned growing up, because I didn't grow up with a father figure.
Right.
I have an older brother who's like 5 years older, and he's cool. We're super close,
Right.
but we have different personalities. So things that I learned by myself on my own. Sometimes the decisions were good. Sometimes they were not that good. They're
Right.
not that great, but you kind of learn from it.
Trial and error.
Trial and error,
Yeah.
right? And so I definitely had a lot of errors growing up,
Right.
but that's kind of what made me who I am today. And so things didn't work out with my ex, and so yeah, I basically have the kids all the time, most of the time, I would say. And the kids grow up really fast, and so for me, it's about balancing everything, including like having to worry about their schooling and laundry.
Right.
And to cook for them, prepare food for
Yeah.
them, and the dishes and all that stuff.
I think you really you are super dad. People throw that term around, but man, you work hard. Obviously, you run your own law firm, and 3 kids and chores and all that stuff. I can barely take care of myself, man. I'm telling you.
Well,
So,
I try. We all
crazy.
try. We all have different lives, right?
Right.
And so I think it's about making the most out of our lives, whatever that means.
Right.
Sometimes some are meant to have kids, and some just this doesn't happen.
Yeah.
And I'm not about comparing with other people, and it's not about like trying to be, whether it's for people to feel sorry for me or pity, because I'm not about that. I think like I've been blessed. I'm very grateful to be given this opportunity. I feel like I've been charged with responsibility.
I don't think people are ever going to feel sorry for you, because they're going to actually look up to you, in my opinion. On the flip side, I'm sure some people might feel like, it's bad, but I don't think so. I think I would certainly look up to you, and I'm sure other people do too, because it's not easy. And you've been successful at what you do, and plus raising 3 kids. I mean, I think that's a lot of. I would praise you for that,
Oh,
for
thanks.
sure.
I mean, let's take it
Yeah,
one day at a time.
one day at a time. Yeah, yeah. Um,
So, okay, so switching gears a little bit, right?
right.
So you also mentioned that you are an avid poker player.
Yes, a poker
Tell me
player.
more about
I'm not a
that.
professional, all right. So there's a difference, right?
What makes a
So
good poker player?
what makes a good? Oh, geez. You have to be patient, and you have to be willing to learn. So I think a lot of people think poker is like a luck game, like any other card game, right? Certainly there's luck involved, right? But skill is probably, I want to say, 70% of the game. Luck is
Okay.
the other 30. So in the long run, right, if you are a good poker player, you are going to win,
Okay.
right? So it's hard for me to explain that to people that don't know poker, because they think it's just another gambling card game.
Okay.
You're risking your money and hoping for the best outcome. So poker is 30% of that is luck, right? But the 70% is really knowing the game, studying the game, constantly seeing what new strategies are being implemented. I follow forums and stuff like that, and training videos and all that
Mm-hmm.
stuff. So it's not as easy as people think, right? So you can be very lucky and win 1 or 2 sessions, but in the long run, if you're not constantly improving and studying, you're not going to win. I mean,
Okay.
I track my record, and I tracked every single game pretty much since I've started 4 years ago. So
Wait.
4 years ago.
Wow, that's a lot of tracking.
A lot of tracking, a lot of tracking. So, and initially it was a lot of, before I started to really put my mind into it,
Mm-hmm.
I would lose a lot. I would win some, I would lose more than I would lose. I
Okay.
win. So,
Okay.
and this was going for like a period of time, and I think 9 months into it, I feel like if I'm going to do this, I better be better at it. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep on losing money. That's not fun, right?
Okay.
So I
Yeah.
start to explore a little bit. Really try to learn the game. Learn the
Mm.
game. Not just know how to play, but learn the game and how to beat the game. So and that was interesting. You know what I mean? So it took me, I think, initially it was like 2 losses per each win,
Okay.
and then slowly it went down to 1 loss per 1 win, and then finally in the recent year and a half, it started to become 2 wins per 1 loss,
Mm-hmm.
and now it's even getting better, 3 wins per 1 loss.
Nice.
So eventually, hopefully it'll get to even a higher, ratio. But even the best poker players in the world, they still lose, maybe 20% of the time.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no way of winning every single session. That's why
Right.
there's a 30%
Right.
luck involved. So that's basic poker.
Do you think you have a pretty good poker face?
I think I'm okay. People used to wear sunglasses.
Yeah. What do you do when you have like a hot hand? You try to be cool about it.
Here's the thing, right? As a poker player, you have to have the same expression no matter what, right? You don't necessarily have to have no expression,
Okay.
but you have to have an expression where it's the same no matter whether or not you have a good hand or a bad hand. You have to have the consistent expression. Same thing with your movements.
Okay.
That's how you don't give off a tell. The way you move your arms, the way you look at people, the
Okay.
way your gesture, body language, all that stuff plays into account. So it's a lot of things to learn.
How come like sometimes poker players,
Yeah.
if they even if like others fold, they like to show like 1 card, 2 cards. Is that like psychological? It's like this way. It's like like, okay, you know what? I was not BSing you.
Definitely.
Next time they will BS you, and then won't show
100%.
the cards and all
I
that.
think 100%. That's definitely it. Sometimes there's some friendly people, recreational players. They'll show their hand for no,
It's like,
motive.
yeah, good fold on your part, right?
Yeah. But for the real professional players, I think really good players, they try to put people on tilt, maybe.
On tilt.
Tilt, that's a word, a terminology that we use for people to, when tilt is like when you can't think anymore, you're just acting on impulse, you're not really making logical decisions.
Oh, okay.
So you're kind of just like reacting instead of really analyzing and making the right movement. You know what I mean? Like you just because you just want to win, you just want to beat the other player, you're just doing whatever.
More impulsive.
Very impulsive. That's basically what it is.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's me as a poker player.
Okay.
How about you, John? So enough about me here. You enjoy leading an active lifestyle. Tell us and everybody that's listening to us for the first time what that is.
Well, I think that maybe has to do with a combination of whether it's being a lawyer full-time or being a single father full-time.
Yeah.
But I think life for me sometimes is kind of stressful, right?
Yeah.
So I think there are ways that I try to find to relieve stress that I enjoy doing as well.
Yeah.
And one is doing things that are active, including outdoors or indoors, including, let's say, martial arts, including training for different obstacles and runs.
Yeah.
Whether we're talking about like mud runs, I've done Tough Mudders, Spartan Beast, and all that. I've done 2 half marathons. I've signed up to do a full marathon this coming July, so I'm pretty excited about that.
That's serious, man.
And on top of that, I really like hitting the weights as well. And so I'm trying to find a balance between all that, between weights and cardio.
Right.
Because I think by working out, it gives me more energy, and I think that helps in a lot of respects. Just to be able to do things related to the kids,
Right.
Make sure that they're safe, make sure that things are good and all that.
Yeah.
So I was reading somewhere how they say that a healthy male is supposed to be able to. There are 2 sides. One say that to be able to kind of bench press 135.
That's a healthy male?
Apparently. So 130
That seems like nothing.
135 is like basically the barbell itself and then one plate on each side.
Yeah.
One plate side, right? It's because the barbell is 45,
right?
And each plate's 45, right? So
wait, so is that for what kind of, like, how many reps though? I mean, you could be doing 10 reps versus someone that can do only 1 rep. It's a huge difference, right?
Well, I think that really varies as well. Mm-hmm. But I would say like I don't know, maybe at least like solid reps.
I didn't know this.
To the tune of like, let's say maybe 4 and up perhaps. Okay. So some would say, okay, it's based on 135, which is 1 plate on each side. So yeah, 2 plates total.
Right.
And then I read somewhere else that to be healthy, you should be able to bench press your own body weight.
Sure, that makes sense.
That makes more sense, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm not too sure which one it is, but I think that's a decent measure, right?
That's a better measure, I think. It's definitely a better measure.
Like body weight, right?
Yeah, because if you're like a 300-pound linebacker, you can bench 135 with your 2 fingers, right? So
you kind of crank it, and that's why I like those combines. They go like for football, they have at 225 and see how many reps you can do with that, right? Which essentially is 4 plates total, right? 2 plates on each side.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't typically go for max. So what I can bench is okay. I'm pretty satisfied with that.
Right.
But yeah, so it's very interesting how they have different type of definitions.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out, okay, what do I want my, let's say, body mass to be and everything else like that, considering that on the one hand, there's like weights, on the other hand, there's like cardio.
Yep.
So every day I try at least do something that's physically active. If nothing done for all day, at least the end of the night, before I sleep, I try to crank out like 100 push-ups.
I know, man. You have that little workout routine in the garage, right?
Yeah. So I think it's important. I think,
Absolutely.
And so yeah, that's what I really enjoy doing.
It's totally true because humans are meant to just sit in front of a computer. We're not evolved like that, right? So hunters and gatherers, right? We're out there roaming around. We're like, we're hunting animals, and we're constantly moving. So.
Yeah.
And that's been going on for millions of years, right? So all of a sudden, we're like sitting doing podcasts, right? Yeah,
podcasting is cool.
Podcast is cool, but like I'm just saying, we're just constantly in front of computers. Just that's why we're having back issues and stuff like that, and people are getting obese. I think it's part of that. Is the reason is we're not moving enough.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah. I think fortunately with podcasting, for example, people can listen as well as do stuff at the same time.
There we go.
Right, you don't have to
While
look
you're at the gym.
Yeah. Although we are YouTubing as well,
We
but
are.
just saying.
We are YouTubing. Just saying. Okay, cool.
Yeah, so I guess that's kind of a little bit about us.
Yeah.
Right. And I think like with the episodes that we have in mind,
Mm-hmm.
we're going to share about, I guess, our own experiences and have other people on as well.
Yes, that's a big one, right? We're going to have cool guests that come on our podcast. And obviously anyone listening can comment below, and we can, if you want to ask more questions or you want certain guests to be on our podcast, we'll try our best to get them on here.
Yeah, this is definitely one where we welcome, right? Welcome comments, suggestions, and to kind of just figure this out together.
Yeah.
What it means.
I think our next podcast we'll get someone up here, right? I think that's the plan.
Right? Well, it needs to be a right fit, right?
Right fit.
So I have to see if it's someone that would be interesting or would be inspiring.
Right.
That would be
one or the other, right? Either they're super inspiring, which would be motivational and get people to be better.
Right.
Or they're just so damn interesting. You just want to listen to what they have to say.
Maybe an entertaining aspect to that as well, right?
Entertaining aspect,
yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
I like that.
Cool. So there we go.
All right. Sounds good.
Let's dive right into some more soon.
Yeah, let's talk some more.
Okay.
All right, bye.